Compostela is free of charge, but the certificate of distance, I believe that it costs around €3. At least it's 2 stamps per day. Those 2 stamps per day, you can get it in restaurants, bars, on churches, hotels. The Camino at the time were people that were interested in history or art, but no more than that. We're going to show later a video clip that has been provided by the city of Santiago to show you how nice is the city of Santiago and the Cathedral. Welcome, pilgrims. This is your host, Efrain Mendoza, and here we are today with a new milestone that we are reaching. And on this milestone, we are going to be doing other type of episodes mixed with our normal podcast. And we're going to be talking about history of the Camino de Santiago and about the city of Santiago. We're going to show later a video clip that has been provided by the city of Santiago to show you how nice is the city of Santiago and the cathedral and all the surroundings. But first of all, I would like to explain a little bit the origin of the Camino de Santiago. And it was that after Christ died, at the end, the apostles that were predicating all around the different countries, when they returned back to Jerusalem, they were all killed. And in the case of Santiago, he used to predicate in the Hispania at that time that was called what it was Spain and Portugal. And when he returned to Jerusalem, he's killed about the year 44 after Christ. And then his disciples decided to bring his rest to the land where he was predicating. When they do that, they disappear. That the boat, he say that the boat was made by stone, and that was the boat that arrived to a place that today is called Padrón, that is close to Santiago. And from there, they took their rest to what is called a month, like about 23 kilometers from the point where the boat arrives. And after all that, years happening, and it was not until century 9 after Christ when their rest were found. And it was a hermit that found his rest, that his name was Pelayo. And Pelayo was the one that advised to the bishop, that was Theodomir at the time, and to tell him about what he had found. The way that they found it, was that we say, is that there were some stars that were so bright, and there were one star so bright, and then around it were another one star bright, and that was pointing to the land. And so when he advised the bishop at that time, they went out there and they found that, and the bishop say, oh, those are the rest of Santiago or St. James. And then he advised to Alfonso II, King of Asturias at that time, and Alfonso II was the first pilgrim that walked the Camino de Santiago. So we're talking about year 800 something after Christ. And then after that, the king decided that need to be built a little church over the tomb where was found the tomb of St. James. That was built, and then about year 1100 after Christ is what is starting the construction of the new cathedral, the one that is known by everyone today days. And that cathedral, I believe, that finished around 1150, 1175 after Christ. And then all after that, the rumor was spread all around Europe, and people start walking the Camino from different parts of the world. And then we're talking about that at some point where they say the legend that was hundreds of thousands of pilgrims walking all around from different parts of Europe to arrive to Santiago and to go to the cathedral. And then that cathedral today days, and then now talking about the century 20, several things happened that the Camino get into. It was not taken under maintenance, and it was like almost lost because There was no maintenance with the Camino until a priest that was in a town that is called Osebreiro start working in trying to recover the Camino. And then also he did making the cartography for all those pilgrims that were wanting to go to the area. And that was on the 80s from last century. And after he made all that work, people start considering the different authorities all around Spain and we're looking into how to rebuild that Camino. And today we know that the Camino is very well signed. The Camino is also part of the World Heritage List by UNESCO. And under that list are the Camino del Norte, the Camino Francés, and the Camino Primitivo. And also the city of Santiago is part of the UNESCO as well. So all those Caminos were at the time in the east were probably walked by hundreds or a little more than 100 people a year of pilgrims. And most of the people that walked the Camino at the time were people that were interested in history or art, but no more than that. But then after the year after that is now with a part of the UNESCO, a lot of people start walking the pilgrimage. And then we are talking that today's days where last year in 2024, almost 500,000 people walked the Camino that got the Compostela. And what is the Compostela? The Compostela is a certificate like the one that you have behind me, this one, that is provided to those pilgrims that walk the Camino because of spiritual or religious purposes. And also walk the last 100 kilometers. But just recently, probably a few months ago, the office of the pilgrim office decided to change the methodology to provide the Compostela to pilgrims. What do they do? That my interpretation, and I believe that's correct. But what they did is that they decided that those 100 still need to be 100 kilometers walking, but those can be a combination between part of the Camino, but the last part of the Camino, the last stage, have to be arriving to Santiago. And in the example of the Camino Francés, we're talking that people that start walking on O Pedroso to Santiago, that is the last route, that is about 20-something kilometers, plus other almost 80 kilometers that made that 100 kilometers from one of the Caminos that are official in Spain. On top of that, can be also a combination between Caminos outside of Spain. As an example, there is one Camino here in the US that is the Camino de las Americas. The Camino is about 50 kilometers long, and those from that Camino, if you just gonna be recognized 80 of those 50 kilometers for the purpose of the Compostela. That means that you need still to complete 70 kilometers inland in Spain. And part of that 70 kilometers need to include the last stage going to Santiago. How do you prove that you walk on that? In the case that you did the Camino outside of the Spain, that 30 kilometers, for example, the Camino de las Americas in the US, you get a passport, and also you need to, it's going to be like a kind with an app that you can have that, and you also take a picture of the places that you're going to be on that Camino. And then you may get, you're going to get a passport that they're going to be stamping. And I understand that you're going to be also getting a certificate local in the area that is provided by the Cathedral of San Agustin in Florida. Then once you go to Spain, and then you're going to have that with you, that is proof that you walk those 30 kilometers. But also on the other side, you are going to be having another passport that looks like this one. This is an example. And you're going to have stamps all across the route where at least is 2 stamps per day. Those 2 stamps per day, you can get it in restaurants, bars, on churches, hotels, different places. And you need to have at least 2 per day. That's going to be what you're going to be showing on the pilgrim office. Once you arrive to the Santiago, and the first thing that you do when you arrive to Santiago is to appreciate on the Plaza de Obradoiro. The cathedral is a moment that is, you're going to have a lot of emotions, looking at all what you accomplish during the last, if you work 7 days, 8 days, 34 days, 40 days walking. And when you see all that, it's super emotional. And then after you contemplate all that, you wants to look for the office of the pilgrim office to make sure that you get a Compostela like that one that you see behind me. And the way to get that today is there is an app from the pilgrim's office that you provide your information, your basic information. And then after that, when you arrive to the office, they're going to give you like a ticket that is a number, and super quick the process. Once you get that ticket, in a few minutes, you're going to be in front in order to get your certificate for your accomplishment of being walk at least those 100 kilometers. If it's by walk, if it's by bike, it has to be at least 200 kilometers. And then the other thing is that you can get as well a certificate of distance. The Compostela is free of charge, but the certificate of distance, I believe that it costs around €3. And then after that, you return back. Most of the pilgrims do that. They go to the Plaza Obradoiro again, and they keep looking into the cathedral, and all people are arriving, people are jumping, people are crying, people are super excited, people just sit down to watch everyone having a hug. There is a lot of things that are going to happen on that. And then on all of top of that, after that, there is a pilgrim mass that you can go every day once you arrive to Santiago. And you may have the opportunity also to watch the Voto Fumeiro just going around inside the church. It's amazing. I personally have not looked into that, just in videos, but people that have had the opportunity, they say that it's amazing. For you to know, it's important that you consider that it's something that you would like to see at the time that you go to the mass. That is just the Voto Fumeiro is putting in just going around inside the cathedral 10 days a year. Some of them are the Resurrection Sunday, Christmas, the Day of St. James, that is July 25th, and the Epiphany Day, that is January the 6th. And they are in total 10 days a year. But then also, if you would like to see that moving around, you can request it too. But the request, you have to get in communication with the Cathedral of Santiago. And there is a process for that. And also, it's going to cost some money. In general, when that happens, it's because there is a big group that the group wanted to see it. And the group decided just between all of them to pay for it. You may be also having the opportunity that someone pay for it, and if you are in mass at that time, you are going to see it also at the same point. Well, and then I recommend totally that if you, after you arrive and you go to the mass and all that, you stay at least 2 nights in Santiago. That way you're going to be enjoying not just the cathedral, you're going to appreciate the tomb inside the cathedral, the tomb of St. James, and you're going to be able to hug him as like a statue that is behind. And then also you're going to appreciate the city. Plus also you maybe wanted to go to the Finisterre, that was called the end of the world at the time. But I'm not saying anymore right now. I just wanted that you see the video that I promised to you that was provided by the city of Santiago. And let's watch that. It's about 2 minutes video, but it's a great video that shows a very nice pictures of what is Santiago City. So thank you again. Buen camino. Enjoy the video. And I hope that you soon be on another Camino. You have walked other ones, but if you have not walked any other ones, so I hope that you soon can start your first Camino. That you're going to see that it's going to be one of the best experiences in life. Thank you, pilgrims, and buen camino.
Son de Santiago.